Hey everyone, it's Tuesday. What's going on? Good coffee to you. NPR, they're talking about Hillary Clinton, her viability for presidency, as though this is of any importance to any of us real people. I hate politics. I want to let Adam know right away that his NTMA, the CD that you told me you were going to send me, it came number 8 out of 20. I want to encourage you, Adam. There's some nice things going on here. I'm not ready to talk about it at length because I want to follow up on my current train of thought. Yesterday, when I made my video in response to someone asking about Kitaro, I knew that by expressing my thoughts strongly, it was bound to catch someone, because that's what happens when seems to be what happens when someone expresses himself fervently. Well, let me back up and put it like this. I observe that if I talk long enough, I'm going to offend someone, or someone's going to take it the wrong way. And sure enough, had some varying responses yesterday, which is wonderful. One person, I forget your name already, actually made a video response. I think it's private, but I applaud it because this takes balls, people. This is risky. To sit up here and show your face and talk about what you really think to the anonymous world. And believe me, people do come by anonymously, ready to start shit with you, you know. But I dare those people to show their faces and say what they're thinking, because it's one of the hardest things that I find to do, is to work on not taking things personally. Many years ago, I was introduced to a book called The Four Agreements. I've talked about it in videos past, and it really helped me a lot. And the Four Agreements are about making your life better, and they make sense, you know. I always forget them. I won't go to get the book right now, but I know that one is do your best. One is, the other one that is the hardest one to work on is don't take what others do personally, because they don't do it because of you. They do it because of them. We do what we do because that's what we do. If we do it thinking it's because of others, well, that's still us doing it. So, when I make videos, I backtrack even before the video is over. So I know that in the Kitaro video, I made it clear that it's just my opinion, and it's not a personal attack on Kitaro. If anything, what I attack is corporate think. Money think is what my issue is. The person thought that I was being unkind in saying that Kitaro's music in essence is commercial and treacly. To my perspective, it is. And so I'm glad that the other person shared their perspective, because it's different than mine. So again, and then I also said to him, it's interesting how when the subject of opinions comes up, the first thing that usually comes up with people is emotions, and then this notion of what is right and wrong. And to me, the way to deal with opinions is to recognize what resonates and what doesn't resonate. And this is what I mean. So the person brought up that in their mind, an example of New Age commercialism is Yanni, not Kitaro. Now that's his perspective. From my perspective, Yanni and Kitaro are almost the same. They don't sound the same, but they hit me about the same. So the last thing I would say about this before I completely lose my train of thought is, when people say things that prick me, the first thing I do is I try to understand why, because there's something to be learned. Someone else actually wrote a comment yesterday, and I think the person wanted a reaction. Maybe not. Maybe they just wanted to share their thoughts. But the person basically said that they thought that the Kit Watkins I played was horrible. White bread. Was the person saying it to offend me? I don't know. I wasn't offended. Why should I be? I like Kit Watkins. They don't. Someone please explain to me, is there a reason for me to be offended that someone tells me that they think something I listen to is crap? Is there something to be offended about? No. I think what happens sometimes is people don't realize that a person will say an opinion that's different from theirs, and they'll feel like they're being attacked without really examining that reaction. I work on examining that reaction so I can get better at handling people and the differences that we have as people. Please do not block my video just because I'm playing Blackfield. Listening to Blackfield 2. I have the first album, and I don't listen to Blackfield much. And so when I pulled this to listen to yesterday, I was thinking, I'm not going to like this. It's the first album that I don't care too much for. I like this. This is Steven Wilson with Aviv Geffen. I like it. So, another example, I think, that I will continue to take the risk of saying more directly my opinion, because that's all it is. It's like opinion and reality are so subjective. It's like to try to define right and wrong about so many things definitively is just it's useless. Especially when it comes to things like music and art. So subjective. Or even like owning guns. It's like, I for one am not stupid enough to say something like, owning guns is bad. I don't think that. I don't own a gun, but I'm happy that people own guns. Actually, I would actually be more concerned if the government got away with getting everyone to give up their guns. That would concern me. Perspective has so much to do with our opinions. For example, something that can be hard to understand for some is, as a 58-year-old brown-skinned American, knowing what I know about the history of America, I'm not going to be honoring someone, for example, like John Wayne. I don't hate him, but he was very outspoken, as an American hero, what he thought about minorities. So surely you can understand that's going to have an effect on my perspective. Another person spoke to me because he thought that I was coming off bad yesterday. And we talked about it and got to the conclusion, I thought that if this person had something to teach me, I wanted to learn it. And the lesson that I came away with was the one that I already knew, which is, we see in others what we understand, or what we see in ourselves. A lot of times when people come here and don't like something, it has everything to do with their own reflection, as opposed to really to do with me. This is true. This seems to be true a lot of the times, that we think others are our perception of them, and they're not. I have to deal with this. I think that I have a good bullshit detector when it comes to people, but it's still just my perception, and I can get it way wrong sometimes. I can. It's okay for me to sit up here and strongly express my opinions about music. I've been absorbing music deeply for well over 50 years. So I do have some strong opinions and attitudes. I have learned over the years at different times how opinions and attitudes affect people, and I've tried to learn from it. I'm now at the point where it's like, well, you keep coming here to share time with me, so you're either interested, curious, or you want to know what I think. So if I say something you don't like, well, just understand I'm a man, I'm a human being, I'm not a robot. I have opinions shaped on my life. There's nothing wrong with that. When something upsets you, just like I said, I try to do, examine yourself and say, why is this upsetting me? What is it really that's upsetting me? Because you don't, even though I said the words, I probably mean something different than what you're taking, especially when you get upset. That's the thing that I've really noticed a lot of times when people come back upset about something I've said. It's because they heard something, but they didn't perceive what I meant. And I have discussions like this with friends at the house. One friend, Rich Madsen, who came to my record show recently, we'll get into it because he will try to tell me that what I said meant this. And I'm saying, that's what you understand I said. No, I'm going to tell you again what I meant. And that's what I meant. There's an artist that I completely stay away from because he's so well loved, and I just absolutely cannot stand hearing his voice. It's Tom Waits. Just leave it alone, I got some more records here, but I wanted to talk about this, and I'm going to leave it here and share your thoughts with me.